Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be working on a gift, a DIY gift. This book. It's actually a box that I found at the thrift store, and it looks like it was a chocolate set from PEI. So someone obviously bought this at a souvenir shop or whatever, and the box is now mine. So I want to actually build this into a little mini library of my friend's favorite books so that she can have this displayed, and she can have a little miniatures of all of her favorite books in here. So I thought that would be quite fun. So we're gonna start off with the box, the bookshelf box. Now I took these Dollarama wood crafting planks, and I have cut them into 4 rectangles. I need to go into the garage and sand them yet so that they're not so rough. But this is what I have for now so that I can kind of measure out. Oh yeah, and I forgot that they're a little too long, like just barely too long. Look at that. Just barely too long that they don't fit. So I'm gonna have to also sand down one of the sides so that they fit a little bit better, or at all. But anyway, what I need to do is I need to measure my inside here. Why don't I use a larger ruler? That gives us an opening of 3 centimeters. So do I like that size? I think that's a pretty good size. A 3 centimeter book. That's pretty cute. Okay, we're gonna go with that. All right, so we're just gonna cut out. This is a book that I didn't like. So instead of getting rid of it, I thought I would keep it around for crafting use. And I think that's a pretty cool idea because you are still, and it's not like a collector book or anything, so it's something that people can get at the stores frequently now. It's nothing rare or anything. So I just decided that that was going to be a good use of an old, unused book. So I actually do want these to be functioning books, as you can tell, with paper. And so I'm just going to maybe sketch out kind of the idea of the book. Okay, I like that size. So let's have a quick measure here. So we are 5 centimeters this way. We're still 3 centimeters this way. With a 0.75 centimeter spine. Now let's see if I fold this. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, that's gonna work out good, I think. I've got some pieces here of a wood texture paper that I want to line the bookshelf with, and I think that will lend itself really cool. I love that this is a gold edging so that I can leave some of the edges gold. I think that will also look really cool. So to glue the paper to the box, I'm actually going to use Mod Podge. So I have this matte Mod Podge, and this paper is actually, you guys won't be able to see it, but it is a textured paper. So I don't want to Mod Podge the top. I will Mod Podge the bottom, and you'll see what I mean about that. So let's see, do we want to put the edges in first or the back in first? I think the edges in first. There we go, we've got one end glued in. And now that the edges are done, I will do the same thing with the back. Now to cover the shelves with the same wood texture, what I've been doing is I want the edge to be the straightest edge, so I just choose which one looks the straightest, and then I coat the top of the shelf. And I'm gonna do this in steps because I don't want to rush it and then it not turn out. So it's just gonna take some patience. So I'm just going to, I forgot I needed to coat the underside of my paper. And then slip it on there. What I've been doing to have it kind of adhere straight is I'm taking my small little metal ruler here because the paper wants to wiggle around on the glue. So I try and get it positioned perfectly how I want to dry it, or how I want it to dry, I should say. And then I just take a binder clip on each end. And really all I've been doing, I haven't waited for it to like completely cure or anything. I've only been waiting like a minute, and then it sets pretty good like this, and then I just set it down to fully dry. So that's what these ones are. They're just fully drying on this edge. And then as it is on my metal ruler, I will just take a blunt blade and just score it. So scoring it is just making an indent in the paper so that it will fold correctly and it will fold smoothly, but not going all the way through the paper. So like, I think this is probably enough time to have it set. And the reason why I use the ruler is to distribute the pressure. And the ruler will be a smidge stuck on there, but not too bad. And then you let it dry. So now that this one has fully dried, I'm going to take advantage of that score mark that I used and bend it this way. We'll score it again. Bend it this way. And now we've got a perfect edge for our shelf. So now we can go ahead and glue the rest of this finish off the shelf. So I've decided to go with 3 shelves, and we're just going to hot glue them in. I think the best way I'm going to do this is just glue a little portion of the sides, the full back, and then there. I love it. Look, it looks like a wooden bookshelf. How cool is this? Oh, I'm so excited for how this is turning out. Okay, so now we have, I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything else to the box yet, but we've got the box and the bookshelf done. So we can move on to continuing to work on the actual books. So I have like 4 stacks of these papers that I've all cut out. I've got thread and needles so that I can do some proper binding, and I'm going to bind it with thread and needles. I've got a few books pre-bound because I just wanted to figure out my method. So I will show you what I've been doing. So I just take a bunch. I don't count them out. I don't care if they're even, because books aren't all the same size and length. So it's okay that they're different. And so my first step is to, as evenly as possible, bend the stack in half. Take a binder clip to hold it in place. Start with my threaded needle and I go down the center. So this just takes some patience because you're putting a needle through numerous pieces of paper. So I just take the cork end of my ruler and I just try to gently shove it through. Once I feel like it's in quite a ways, I double check that it's coming through the last page because it needs to come through the entire book. So there it is. Once I've got that, I fold this back up, secure it on the side because I'm gonna need access to this side here. So we're just gonna take our needle and we're gonna poke it just close to the edge here from the inside outside. And then I'm gonna use my cutting mat instead of the cork and just gently with pressure, the needle will come through. So it's looking good. Now we're going to go the entire length of the book, but also again toward the end. And you come back through the middle. Because this paper is quite thin, I would not suggest putting it through the same hole. So go over so that your string overlaps and then add another hole. Pull it through and then knot it and snip it off. We'll use that other string for the next one. And just to finish this off, because the paper is now making this weird point to it, we will just snip it off. It might take a little bit of sawing. You can even do half at a time. You can take the time to cut it nicely with an X-Acto knife so that it doesn't leave these frayed edges, but I'm actually using these frayed edges to like give the appearance of deckled edges. And there we go. I've got a bunch of our books finished now, and I have been putting together the covers. So for the covers, I wanted something a little thicker than like a soda can box, a 12-pack soda can box. So what I did was I actually just glued them together so that it's a double layer. And then I've just cut them in strips like so to roughly fit the books so that they overlap the books a little bit. So however big or however tall your books are, you'll want your book covers a little larger. And then I just did a rough dimension widthwise because we will be folding these to go around our books. And so I've got those dimensions roughed in here. Where are we? On this side. And so all I'm gonna do to finish it up, because I've already got a bunch, but just because I need a few more, I'm just gonna line it up with my metal ruler. And because there's a few layers here, it takes a couple of swipes, but then it's good. So that's what I've been doing to get my covers. Since each of these little booklets are like varying sizes, I'm having to customize each book cover to the book. So the method I've been doing is just kind of place it there how I want it, make a little line. Oh, that's a messy line. Let's do a little bit better. Do a light pass through, mark it on the other side where I sliced through that other side, and then do it on this side, also light. So then we have one bend, and I bend it both ways. Then I stick the book that I'm using for this cover in, just kind of hold it there, figure out how wide the spine should be for this particular book. Make another slice. Do the same thing. Then I've been peeling off this top layer just from the spine so that the spine has a little less paper layers to bend through, and it'll make it easier for me to work with it when I put the covers on. Okay, so there we have it. So I've gone ahead and I've prepared all of the covers for the books that my friend loves. So she loves all of these books. So I've gone on the computer and I've like arranged how I'm hoping this will work out. So I didn't know, like, because each of these spines are different sizes, so I didn't make them to fit one universal template. So I will cut out the spines, attach the spine on first, then I will attach the covers on. You'll understand once I get going. So I've got the books in various stages of having their cover attached. This is the last one I have yet to do, so I will just maybe show you. This one is completed so far. It's still a little bit drying, so I don't want to mess with it too much. And then this is how I put the spine on. So I just glue the spine first, let it dry, and then I guess oh yes, I do have one where I have just the front cover. The back cover is not done yet. And then, like I just showed you, this one has the spine, the front cover, and the back cover. So that's what I'm going to do here. I found that it's best to leave the spine with the most excess paper, and then the covers just kind of layer on top really nice. So I'll put those off to the side. Glue the spine, put lots, be very generous. That's what I'm figuring with this paper, I guess, gluing. Just be very generous with the glue. And then stick. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know which way to put the spine, but that really only plays in when you put the front cover on, because up until this point you can put the book either way. So what I like to do is I just like to squish it down, and then I use the sunlight from this window, and I see, you guys probably won't be able to see, but I like to see if it's hit the spine right where I want it to be, and funnily enough, this one is perfect. So then I kind of pinch the paper along the spine so that it wants to stay down as it dries. Like so. wipe the glue a little bit so that it doesn't dry super lumpy. Add a bit to the face of it. And get your little binder clip. I mean, you can maybe think of your own way to keep it together and dry. I like to dry them bent so that they'll close later on easier, so that like the paper dries properly, you know what I mean? So I was going to make a bookend as well. I didn't, but I probably should have, because that would hold them in their place like a lot nicer, you know? But I'm wondering if I can squeeze enough in the top shelf. Will they hold themselves in place, you know? Let's see. Okay, it looks like it might not work out that way, so they might just have to sit. This is my first time making something like this, so I'm figuring it out as I go. So they might just sit a little open. Is there going to be room just barely for all of them? Oh wow, look at that. Just barely. So that's our little bookshelf. I'm quite happy with how this turned out, you guys. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. This took so many days of work just at the art desk here. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's pretty cute. And now my friend has her own little mini library. So I think I'm going to write a custom message in here with my gold paint pen to match the gold of the bookshelf. And then it'll be her own private, personal mini library. And I think that's super cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a lovely day and a lovely time watching me experiment with mini books. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!